Welcome back into Wake Up America. The first Republican debate of the 2024 election cycle now just over a month away, putting a lot of pressure on these GOP candidates to meet the qualifying criteria to make sure they make it on to the debate stage on August the 23rd.
For more, let's bring in former Pennsylvania Senator advisor for the Convention of States and Newsmax contributor Rick Santorum. Senator Chris Christie says he has 40,000 donors. Now, that's just one box ticked to qualify for the GOP debate. But he still has to get 1% support in 2 more polls to officially make the stage. Now, we know a lot can change once those candidates actually get on there. How important will these debates be for the GOP?
Well, it's number one, it's critical for Chris Christie. He cannot maintain his campaign without being on the debate stage. That's his selling point, that he's going to rough up Donald Trump or rough up everybody else and be the sort of the alpha on the stage. Interesting is that right now Trump has basically said he's not going to participate in these debates. So it's important. But if Trump is not on the stage, and I was in 2016, he did not go on the stage on some of the early debates, and it didn't have any impact on him whatsoever. So I think he sees that he can bypass debates early while he has this commanding lead and sit back and see if anybody can rise to the occasion to threaten him.
And you know this well, Senator. You ran for president in 2012. You won in Iowa, beating Mitt Romney famously. I kind of thought that would springboard you to success in New Hampshire. But that's a fascinating dynamic. The caucus and the primary, just a week later, things change fastly. It's 2 different groups of voters. Here's my question. And Trump's been smart about this. This is his 3rd time running now. So he's got more experience than anybody that'll be on that stage in August. Something has happened with the DeSantis campaign. All that momentum that Fox News has tried to build up over the last 6 months, it's kind of going nowhere. We're hearing reports that DeSantis is looking for a campaign reset, a new media strategy. CNBC yesterday, DeSantis donors privately worry about campaign as Florida governor lags in 2024 polls. And then Politico, top donors, souring on DeSantis. They're looking at Tim Scott now. So what's the point? What benefit would it be to Trump to actually go on the stage and debate when this is happening, when his candidates are coming undone on their own?
If the campaign stays the way it is, in other words, if Trump continues to dominate the polls and no alternative really rises to threaten him, this is a really smart strategy. On the other hand, if he passes on the debate and people see that as a sign of weakness and somebody else does catch fire, then he's in a situation where he's pulled back into debates as a sign of weakness because he has to go back into the debate. So it's a tricky strategy for Trump. I don't understand necessarily why he's passing, because he does really well in debates. I mean, that's a great forum for him. He dominates the stage and he puts everybody else on the defensive. Having said that, he does leave himself open to getting hit. But the debate's going to be, if Trump's on the stage, the debate's going to be about Trump. And I've never known Donald Trump to shy away from an event that he's the focal point of.
I was just going to say, maybe he's waiting for a bigger stage to eventually be on. Who knows what his reasonings are. But still going back to DeSantis. So as Rob was saying, a lot of his donors trying to maybe pull away. We're not exactly sure what path he's trying to take at this point. Some people saying his donors might be looking to Tim Scott. Do you think that the debate stage could be a defining factor for a lot of these candidates and their donors who are watching? Because those are important.
Yeah, I think I've heard rumors to the effect that DeSantis is saying if Trump doesn't participate, he may not participate. I think that's a huge mistake for DeSantis. He has to go on the stage. He has to show himself to be the credible alternative, whether Trump's on the stage or not. But it does create an opportunity for someone like Tim Scott to or somebody else to show well in the debate and actually stand up and do as good, if not a better job as DeSantis. So there's risk associated with it. But look, when you're trailing, you have to take risks. Having been there, you can't sit back and hope that things start breaking your way. You've got to go out and force your breaks. And the debate stage is the absolute best place. I participated in 30 presidential debates in my career, and
wow.
For me, it was absolutely a lifeblood for me to be able to continue the campaign. And I think these other candidates, particularly the lower candidates, will find it's absolutely essential.
Yeah, that's interesting. Debates do still matter, don't they? They really are important. I know people get their news from all different sources now, but the debate stage is really that can separate the herd.
Yeah, it's the only time
Yeah.
you're actually up there against the opponent, and people can measure you versus everybody else. And
Right.
so it is a unique opportunity, and I can't imagine anyone other than Trump, because of his position, passing it up.
Senator, have a great weekend. Good to see you as always. Thank you.